Welcome to BCP Live. Hi, I am Joey McWilliams. Glad to get to be with you all tonight, live on a Wednesday night. This is back-to-back weeks that we are doing the show on a Wednesday night. Are we starting a trend? Absolutely have no idea. But I'm trying to make sure I get the guests when I get the guests. And tonight, I have guests, and that is plural. And it's not just one and then another. Right now, we have 5. And you know what? We could have more. We don't know. We're not putting limits on this thing. Hey, before we get into what we're talking about here really quickly, I want to say thank you all to everyone for watching tonight, whether you're watching us here live on a Wednesday night or you're watching the replay Thursday, Friday, whenever it happens to be. I want to remind you that coming up on September 11th, which is Sunday, September 11th, at Workout Anytime, they're doing the Honor the Fallen Stair Climb Challenge. It's the stair climber. It's a challenge. And what goes on there, and I've seen some of our law enforcement folks do this in years past. If you have a chance to at least be there and see it, you need to go. You may have a chance to participate. So that's something to think about too. But they actually climb all the stairs, like 110 flights of stairs worth of stairs on this stair climber thing. And they do it in full gear. We're talking like firemen getting all their packs on and everything else, just like what the first responders did 9/11/2001 to honor the folks who have done that in the past. So it's a really cool thing. You need to check that out. Go ahead and look at the Facebook page for Work at Anytime. We're also going to have a story on that tomorrow on Bryan County Patriot, the website, bryancountypatriot.com. So I have talked enough right now. Let me introduce some folks here really quickly that I'm excited to have on the show with me tonight. And we're going to go around. This is in clockwise order on your monitor, at least according to the way I can see it right now. And I think it's the same way that you can as well. Kenzie Williams from Ooh La La Glam. Kenzie, can you wave? And then Brittany Williams from Ellie's Closet, and Stephanie Swiker from Yui Gifts. And I know you guys do a lot of other things too. Tara Metz with Magnolia Events and more. And then Nicole Tucker. She is representing the SBDC. Make sure I said that right. All of a sudden I panicked, and when I get my letters out of order, SBDC. Nicole, listen, you guys, let's just get right to it. You all had a boot camp recently. Now, we're not talking about like boot camp, like in, Mississippi or something like that. No military boot camp, but you were learning a lot about small business. Tell us what just went on and what some of these folks went through over the last 12 weeks.
It was her grandchild. She really wanted to develop this boot camp to help all businesses, but wanted to start going down small businesses. And she came to us with an idea. We sat down. She wanted to write a grant, USDA grant, for this small business camp, so that when they completed, they could be eligible for 2 different grants: $2,000 grant for a technology, and the other one is going to be a $5,000 grant for a project, a store grant. And we partnered. We sat down. We partnered. Kind of decided that we needed, more hands on deck. Grant continued. We partnered with the Durant Industrial Authorities, Durant Main Street, Durant Chamber of Commerce, REI, and of course, Small Business Development Center. And our part was we developed the curriculum for the grant. The grant got approved, so we got to push through and actually start the boot camp on June 6th. It ended on August 29th, and I was lucky enough to be able to work with some amazing downtown businesses, and I call them lifelong friends now. I said that today at Chamber, but I meant it.
Well, that is cool. By the way, we had Coffee Network again this morning. Wednesday mornings, the Chamber of Commerce here, the Durant Area Chamber of Commerce, not just Durant, but Durant Area Chamber of Commerce has Coffee Network, and it's a really cool thing to get involved with. And I have seen every one of the people who are in the screen with me right now at Coffee Network at various times. And as Nicole said, they are friends. They've become friends, and I've gotten to know them through Coffee Network, and I really appreciate that a lot. I want to ask you then also really quickly, Nicole, before we get to some of the other guests tonight, I know there were a number of people that sponsored this boot camp, and I want to give you a chance to talk about them really quickly.
We did. We had great sponsors. First Texoma National Bank was a sponsor. Shamrock Bank sponsored, and we had a really great sponsor of Choctaw Small Business Development Center. So we really had some people step up in the community. We also I just lost my train of thought. But yes, we had a lot of people step up in the community. And as far as the boot camp goes, we had it was the 12-week program. We started out with our curriculum for that was business plan. We had financial planning. We brought in store design, we had which was what we ended on. We had some marketing, which is when REI came in and helped us with some marketing thing with Marla Hearn. I've just been so impressed with the town of Durant, the downtown businesses, and everyone coming together. And I really just want to give a plug to some of our established businesses, Tara and Stephanie. We had some startup businesses that we were going to try to decide if we're going to split up the different startup businesses and more expert businesses that have already been established. And established businesses and the newer businesses. It was a great thing to watch. I think that they've just developed networking skills. Put them together. I was really to that and be able to touch. I also didn't mention that Kiamichi Tech let us use their facility, and they provided some refreshments for us. So the whole town of Durant really just came together, and it was a great thing to see.
That is fantastic to hear. I appreciate that, and giving a shout out to all those people. By the way, Marla Herndon is my cousin, so I'll say I think she does a really good job. So just shout out to family too while we're at it. Kinsey, I know that your business, by the way, is one. You two, both of the in that monitor up there. I mean, two of the relatively new businesses here in downtown Durant, not too far from one another, and you are in Brittany's store right now. But Kinsey, tell us a little bit about your experience. Then you have Ooh La La Glam.
I do. So I really benefited from the boot camp as far as marketing goes and social media. I just really didn't know what I was doing in an aspect of marketing a business, and I feel like I took a lot from it and have grown as a business owner tremendously. I mean, my business wouldn't be where it was today without the boot camp. So
that is cool to hear. You are in Ellie's Closet right now. Brittany, I know that you are the owner of Ellie's Closet. I know Ellie is actually around because I always hear if you come, you get to see Ellie. So, and by the way, I have gone and visited Brittany, and every time I've been there, Ellie's there. So there was no false advertising at all. Talk about your experience in the boot camp.
Yeah, so as Nicole mentioned, boot camp started June 6th, and my store actually, my doors opened, my ribbon cutting was the 14th. So I started the boot camp before I actually opened my doors, and I learned so much. I got advice from other business owners. I got to hear their best practices. I got to learn some do's and don'ts with marketing. HR, when I do hire somebody, I feel like I have a good understanding of the do's and don'ts there and how to appropriately interview people. Along with just merchandising, I had a wonderful opportunity where the small business district, they actually had somebody come into my store and help me set up my display window and just show me a little bit about merchandising. And it was just a wonderful experience. I've learned so much. Starting a store is a difficult process and being a small business owner, but the ladies in the class and the ladies and gents, they were all wonderful and very supportive, and I've definitely networked and gained wonderful friends from it.
Now, of course, Ellie's Closet right on Main Street there, and Ooh La La Glam on 2nd Street, just south of Main Street, and another business on 2nd Street, Yui Gifts, which is just directly north of the Opera House. And Stephanie, a veteran business owner, I guess, relatively speaking, right now.
I don't feel veteran. I feel still young.
I wasn't calling you old.
I don't know.
At no point. Okay, I just let the record show. At no point in
we
this
should just stop this right
program,
now.
Yeah.
Stop your head.
Not that I haven't ever called Stephanie old, but at no point in this program have I called her old. Now let's go back. I'm just kidding.
None of that sounded good, Joey.
I'm sorry. We'll scratch that. We'll start the end point when we start recording again. Go ahead, though, and tell us about your experience.
No, it was really great. So Buddy and I started this business together, and we flipped back and forth between the two of us, trading places. And so it landed into my possession. And so I had a lot of hard lessons to learn in my just over 5-year journey. And so I didn't have the kind of the building blocks for a business. It wasn't something I ever really had to think about. And so the small business boot camp really helped me understand what the foundation should be and how to establish that, and not have to redo a whole entire business, but just fill in the gaps that I had standing there. So that's what I've been busy working on. And not only that, but it was also the camaraderie we had amongst each other, with the just Durant as a town and the support that it was giving us with all the sponsors, the different organizations that were collaborating, bringing us the information, and then each other that we had, that we could not feel alone, and that we could get some very fundamental advice from, that really changes the perspective of how I do business. I really appreciate it.
That is cool. Terry, you've had Magnolia events or a similar business for a while. I know that you've been working with all the things that you've been putting together. We've had a chance to get to see your new location today. Again, we give a shout out. Janet's watching. So I'm going to give a shout out to the Durant Area Chamber of Commerce Coffee Network, because it is being hosted by Magnolia Events this month. And we were out there at your new digs today. But talk about your experience there with the boot camp.
Just to kind of reiterate what Stephanie said, I feel like just the sense of community that you walked away with, getting to know the other small business owners. I feel like I'm still a baby business. I just celebrated 2 years, and there's a lot that I still have to learn, but this program definitely helped me see where I think some key components where I can go and build stronger business without starting over. So a lot of what Stephanie said applies to me as well. Owning a business is hard. And nobody necessarily can ever understand that until they do own their own business. So being with a group of people on a continual basis that are kind of in the same place that you are, just gives you some encouragement that you might not otherwise have. The sponsors that we had that came in advised us, gave us a wealth of knowledge, and we have tools now that we can use for the remainder of, hopefully we all have long, prosperous, successful businesses, and everything we learned will contribute to that.
Well, listen, we're here on BCP Live on a Wednesday night, a little bit different night than we normally meet, but that's okay. I'm enjoying that. We've done the last 2 Wednesday nights, as a matter of fact. And I'll take the moment to say, if you're just tuning in live, lots of folks watching. Thank you, Lahoma. Good to see your name come up again tonight. Brina, giving a shout out to Tara there as well. And Jennifer Brewer says, hey, I'm going to go ahead and we'll just put this one on here really quickly. Some of my favorite people, is it showing? It's not showing. Should be showing. There we go. Some of my favorite people here on BCP. So Jennifer Brewer with the shout out there. And give another one here. See if this one will show up. And from the Boss Lady, there we go. Had a chance to visit with her here on BCP Live a couple of weeks ago. And she was breaking news that night. And each one of you make Lisa Taylor proud. So that is really pretty cool. So anyway, I did want to say, before we go on too much further in this, and I had one more question for you all. I don't want to keep you up too late on a Wednesday night. Definitely don't want to keep Ellie up too late. But for the rest of you, I know that you have bedtimes and things like that. And there's an old joke in there somewhere, but I'm just going to leave it alone right now. I'll bypass that and skip it right on through. the free fair is going on. The Bryan County Fair is going on this week. And that was our guest last Wednesday night. We had a chance to talk with Lindsay Roberts, and she was telling us about that. Carnival, I believe, gets underway tomorrow night, but lots of activity here in Bryan County. So don't forget to go to the fair. And we're going to show up there at some point in time as well. Nicole, I wanted to ask one other thing really quickly of you, because I know that this is a big deal. And it seemed like a big deal. First off, there's going to be another one sometime soon, really quickly. Can you tell us when that's going to happen? And on a scale of, this is a big deal, what was it like for you?
So we're going to do another one starting in the spring. Hopefully we'll have another one spring and summer. Lisa Taylor did her job well enough where she got us great grant money. So we have enough to spread out at least 2 or 3 more boot camps. I think this was a highlight so far of my time at SBDC. It's been a privilege to be able to be a part of it and help facilitate it and meet these wonderful people.
All right, ladies, then I know part of what you told me about what you glean from it and what you gain from it. And I love the idea that you now have tools that you didn't have before, and talking about things that you've learned and the different things that you got mentally, emotionally, educationally along the way. But you also got grants as well. And so I want to ask you just quickly, briefly, what would you get for your business from a grant like that? And we'll just go around again. Kenzie?
From the next grant?
Or no, I mean from this one. I mean, yeah, what kind of things did you get? And, not to go too into detail, but still, I mean, what does something like that mean for you?
So it honestly meant the world to me that I was even chosen to be a part of the boot camp, not let alone get a $2,000 grant for technology. So I got me and my 4 stylists iPads to use as point of sales, so they individually have their own appointment book and point of sale. I did get a camera system for my salon and a new computer for my own personal stuff to be stored. But the big deal was everyone a new point of sale.
That's fantastic. And just to give people an idea of what you could do for your business from being a part of something like that, Brittany?
So for me, just opening a business, I went with kind of the basic, but I learned that I needed so much more. I wanted to measure my financials. I wanted to see my profit and losses. I wanted to see so much more. So I went with a whole new point of sale system, one that has a barcode printer and barcode scanner, so I can keep track of my inventory, as well as when I do hire employees, it's going to make things much easier on them, and I can track the sales that way. And I too got a camera system just to help keep my store secure and make me feel safe. As small business owners, I know a lot of us are sometimes alone in our stores, so that peace of mind was really nice, and I know it makes me feel much more comfortable.
Yeah, that is fantastic. Stephanie, how do you have a lot of things already going there at UE, so where do you take that and develop it with a grant?
Ooh, I love that you said that, because it totally segues into my most favorite thing that I use the grant for, which is a remarkable writing notepad, because I have probably bags full of notebooks of ideas, of these ambitions, of things, places I want to take this business, and it's hard to keep track of all of it among my planner and my daily to-dos. So that's all now condensed into one very handy device. We also got a new computer, because the one that I was using for the store was like a dinosaur, and we have a laser there, so we need it to be able to run our software and our design software, Corel, whatever, to do our projects. And then I also got a POS system upgraded, because ours was just very, very outdated.
Hey, listen, you'd be surprised, by the way, what a 2010 MacBook can do. I can run a whole business off of this thing, dinosaur or not. But no, I think that's fantastic. I just was sitting there when you said dinosaur, I was thinking, how old is this? But that's all right. At least I wasn't asking how old anybody was. Tara, as we move on to I'm sorry, that's going to stick with me for a while, Stephanie. I apologize. There was
it should, Joey. You should feel very bad.
I'm going to have to work on my segues. That's what I need to do. Tara, for your business, you said it was a baby business. So how would a grant help a baby business?
Well, I've been operating my business from since I started. I do have an iPad, uh, but primarily from my phone, from QuickBooks, Word.
Tara, I've lost your audio. I don't know if it's well, anyway. That's fine. We'll try it again. Yeah, go see if it works again.
So I was able to buy a laptop and didn't really realize how much help my business. And so to have a laptop is really, I wouldn't have a piece of equipment on my program.
Well, Tara, I apologize. We lost your audio again. We can see you talking, and I'm every now and again we get a little bit, but I'm sorry. I apologize. I don't want to lose you, and I don't want to waste your time on that either. But anyway, I know that time is valuable. We're past the 20-minute mark, and we do want to make sure everyone gets a chance to go. But really quickly, and I'll start with Tara, and we'll work our way backwards just to see if we can get even a brief remark here. Would you invite the people to the one in the spring? Tell us really quickly.
Absolutely. I feel like if you have a small business, it's extremely beneficial. Definitely cool and see what you need to do.
All right. And I think we got most of that too. Stephanie, invite the people to the one in the spring then.
Top of your to-do list.
That is simple and to the point and very accurate. Brittany?
It was so beneficial that I would go through it again if I could. So I definitely recommend it.
I like that. Good selling point. Kinsey?
Absolutely. Don't lose my invitation to be there to meet and network and all that, because I'll be there to do that, just to show up. So.
All right, Nicole. These are the people that you need to take with you then when you're going around town, and because definitely they all have something positive to say. I know there were a number of other people that were there as well, but you need to take these guys with you.
Yeah, they're coming back to the boot camp with me for sure. They're going to be guest speakers.
Oh, well, that's fantastic. That's the way to do it. Well, Janet Reed says you guys rock, and I agree. I am very grateful that you all took the time on a Wednesday night to come on and be with me here on BCP Live. I want to give a shout out then to, of course, Janet again for being getting a lot of this stuff together and promoting. The Durant Area Chamber of Commerce does a fantastic job of promoting the businesses that are involved as well. And if you have not had a chance to go to a Coffee Network meeting, especially if you're in the Durant Chamber, you need to do this. You need to meet some people. It's going to be at Magnolia Events, which is out on North First, just past Gerlach, just immediately past Gerlach. If you're taking your kid to go to the high school and you're turning there, or maybe even going that entrance to the new George Washington Elementary, that's where Magnolia Events is. And the Chamber of Coffee Network is going to be there through the month of September. I know Tara would like to show that off too. Yes.
It's at Sealy.
Sealy House. Yes. I'm sorry. And I knew that, and I didn't say that out loud. But that's where it's housed right now. So great place. Great place there at the top of the hill just before you start heading down and working your way towards 75. Stephanie Swiker with UE Gifts, and also working at REI too. We dropped the REI name once tonight, so we'll give you a shout out for that as well. And then Brittany Williams, Ellie's Closet, and Kinsey Williams, Ooh La La Glam Studio. Nicole Tucker, thank you so much for being with us tonight. And usually I'll tell you what, I'm going to close it out and keep all these people with their window open for a minute longer, okay? Because if you haven't heard this yet, you need to. You have a lot going on this week. Our week is just halfway done, and I hope that you do very well. And so I want to encourage you in a few things just as we leave tonight. Number one, be wise. Be wise. If you don't feel like that you're walking in wisdom or you have enough wisdom, that's all right. Just ask God for wisdom. It says in James chapter 1, God said, if you ask, I'll give you wisdom. And he said he'd give it to you generously and without finding fault. So I ask for wisdom regularly because, bless God, I need a lot of wisdom. I'm going to throw out an old joke somewhere in the middle of all this. I don't even know when to stop talking. So I need wisdom to be able to run a show well if Stephanie's ever going to come back on with me again. Number 2, walk in love. See, that's a good one to follow that up with. You need to walk in love. It's not always the easiest thing to do, but I promise you it is worth it. So walk in love. Forgive the guy who cut you off in the Walmart parking lot, or actually in Walmart, because sometimes those baskets get banged up. And number 3, do not walk in fear. It's tough. Sometimes it's a challenge. I don't have time on this show to tell you all the things that are going on in my life. Sometimes it's tough, and sometimes fear tries to creep in, but don't do it. Don't walk in fear. Get through it in some way or another. I know national media gives you lots of opportunities to be afraid of something just about every day. Don't do it. Be wise, walk in love, do not walk in fear. And for all of my guests tonight, thank you very much for being on the show with me. If you watched this through tonight and you're all the way through, thank you. If you are watching the replay and you have continued to watch all the way through, you are a trooper, and I appreciate you for your time. But God bless you. We'll be back on again next week, may even do a remote from somewhere in town. And Ronnie Walters and I are going to be at Twice Baked Bistro within the next 7 days. You want to be watching for that as well. So thank you very much for watching. God bless you. Have a great night.